Very good morning to all, respected chairperson, resource person of this session, Professor Gautam Chakma sir, and dear participant. We are here, the day 4, the first technical session. This session will be on governance and media. And in this session, as I know that Professor Gautam Chakma sir will be here as a speaker of this session. And before his presentation, may I request Pratibha Singh Madam to introduce our speaker sir as well as moderator session. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to Professor Gautam Chakma, all the way from Tripura University, and all my fellow participants. I, Pratibha Singh, on behalf of the workshop committee and all the fellow participants, would like to extend our heartiest thanks to Professor Gautam Chakma, who will be guiding us through this workshop as our chairperson of the 9th technical session themed as Media and Governance. Before we start, I would like to give a short description about our esteemed chairperson of the 9th technical session. Professor Gautam Chakma teaches political science in Tripura Central University. He obtained his PhD degree in political science from Northeastern Hill University, Ceylon. He did a certificate program in development, law and social justice offered by the International Institute of Social Studies, The Hague, the Netherlands. His research areas include inter alia, migration studies, politics in Northeastern India, and political theory. He has guided several PhD scholars concerning problems of Northeast India and international relations. Now, I would like to welcome Professor Chakma to enlighten us with his views on the topic media and governance. I welcome you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Pratibha. Hello. Okay, good morning to everybody, esteemed guests and participants to my lecture of today. And in fact, it's a crucial topic. Your organizer, Dr. Deepan, has given me the title just yesterday. And this is governance and media. In fact, in social science discourses, if we want to make it scientific, it actually starts with asymmetrical poles. One pole is actually stronger than the other, and sometimes both the poles will be pulling each other. That's how a scientific discourse in social science starts. So here I'll be doing the same thing with governance on the one side and media on the other. It's a crucial topic indeed. And I would like to just give a brief first. In this rapidly evolving world where information flows freely, power dynamics constantly shift, the relationship between governance and media has become paramount in shaping our world. Today, we will examine the complex dynamics between these two spheres and explore their profound impact on democracy, freedoms, and understanding the world. Let us begin by defining our terms. Governance, as I discussed in my previous intervention in this workshop, refers to the systems and processes through which societies are organized and decisions are made. It encompasses the structures, institutions, and policies that guide the nation. On the other hand, media plays a pivotal role in facilitating the flow of information, acting as a watchdog and providing a platform for public discourse. It is the means through which citizens are informed, engaged, and empowered. A robust, healthy democracy relies on free and independent media. The media acts as a fourth estate, as all of you know, a crucial check on those in power, ensuring transparency and accountability in governance. It serves as a guardian against the abuse of power, providing a platform for dissenting voices and alternative perspectives. By critically examining the actions of the government, the media enables citizens to make informed decisions about their lives and the direction of the nation. However, the relationship between governance and media is not without its challenges. In many parts of the world, we witness instances of media manipulation, censorship, and the spread of misinformation. Such action undermines the very essence of democracy and erode public trust. Both the government and the media bear the responsibility of upholding ethical standards, promoting truth, and safeguarding the integrity of the information ecosystem. For the government, it is essential to foster an environment that nurtures a free and independent media. This entails enacting legislation that projects press freedom, ensuring the safety of journalists, and supporting initiatives that promote media diversity. Governments must resist the temptation to control or manipulate the media for their own interests, as this leads to a decline in democracy and a loss in public confidence. On the other hand, media organizations must prioritize responsible journalism. They should adhere to principles of accuracy, fairness, and impartiality. Journalists must have the courage to challenge those in power, ask tough questions, and pursue the truth. It is crucial for media outlets to maintain their editorial independence, free from undue influence or bias. By upholding these values, media organizations can regain and retain public trust, ensuring their vital role in democratic society. Furthermore, as consumers of media, we also have a role to play. We must be discerning in our consumption of information, critically evaluate source and fact-checking before accepting information as true. Engaging in constructive dialogue and promoting media literacy within our communities will enable us to combat spread of misinformation and ensure that our media landscape remains vibrant and trustworthy. Hence, the relationship between governance and media is complex and symbiotic. A free and independent media is the lifeblood of democracy, acting as a vital check on power and promoting transparency and accountability. Both the government and the media bear the responsibility of upholding the principles of truth, freedom, and ethical conduct. As engaged citizens, it is our duty to support and defend the values that undermine the relationship between governance and media. Together, we can foster a society where the media thrives, democracy flourishes, and informed citizenry prevails. The objective of my lecture here is to provide a comprehensive and critical analysis of the relationship between governance and media. I've tried to explore how media influence governance processes, the challenges and risks associated with media influence, and the role of governance in shaping media systems. The boundary of this scope or the scope of my lecture centers around democratic context, focusing on the role of media in democratic governance and the challenges faced by democratic societies and maintaining a healthy and effective media landscape. Let us try to examine the role of media in governance. Media as a fourth estate. Media acts as the fourth estate in democratic societies, representing an additional check on the powers of the executive, legislature, and judiciary. It plays a crucial role in fostering transparency, accountability, and integrity in governance by scrutinizing those in power and raising public awareness about government actions and policies. Media as a watchdog. The media serves as a watchdog by monitoring governance, investigating potential wrongdoing, and exposing corruption and malfeasance. Investigative journalism plays a vital role in holding public officers accountable, ensuring transparency and contributing to effective governance. Media and public accountability. Media facilitates public accountability by providing a platform for information dissemination, facilitating public discourse, and enabling citizens to voice their concerns and expectations. It acts as a conduit between government and the public, fostering an informed citizenry and encouraging active participation in governance processes. Then we'll see media influence and governance. Media framing and agenda setting. Media framing and agenda setting have a significant impact on governance. Media outlets have the power to shape public perception and influence policy agendas by selecting and emphasizing specific issues or perspectives. This influence can shape public opinion, impact policy priorities, and even influence the decision-making processes of government officials. Media bias and propaganda. Media bias, whether intentional or unintentional, can distort governance processes. Biased reporting and spread of propaganda can manipulate public opinion, undermine trust in governance institutions, and hinder objective decision-making. Critical analysis and evaluation of media sources are crucial for maintaining an informed and judicious citizenry. Media capture and ownership concentration. Media capture where powerful interest groups exert control over media organizations can undermine democratic governance. When media outlets are captured or controlled, they may serve the interests of a select few rather than acting an independent source of information. Ownership concentration, both vertically and horizontally, limits media plurality and diversity, narrowing the range of voices and perspectives available to the public. Challenges posed by media influence. Misinformation and disinformation. The proliferation of misinformation and disinformation in the media landscape poses a significant challenge to governance. False or misleading information can distort public understanding, compromise decision-making processes, and erode trust in governance institutions. Fact-seeking media literacy initiatives and responsible reporting are essential to counteract these challenges. Erosion of trust. Media influence, particularly when coupled with biased reporting or perceived conflicts of interest, can lead to a decline in public trust. When citizens lose trust in media and governance, it undermines democratic processes and social cohesion. Building transparency, accountability, and ethical standards within both media and governance is crucial for restoring and maintaining public trust. Polarization and fragmentation. Media influence can contribute to polarization and fragmentation within societies. Biased reporting, echo chambers, and amplification of extreme views through social media can deepen divisions, impede constructive dialogue, and hinder effective governance. Efforts to promote media pluralism, diversity, and constructive public discourse are vital for mitigating these challenges. Then we shall also see governance and media systems, regulatory frameworks, for example. Governance plays a crucial role in establishing and enforcing regulatory frameworks for media. Well-designed and impartial regulations can promote media freedom, independence, and ethical conduct while addressing challenges such as misinformation, hate speech, and media concentration. Balancing regulatory oversight, hate speech, and media hate speech with protection of free expression is a delicate task that requires careful consideration. Media freedom and independence. Ensuring media freedom and independence is essential for effective governance. Governments must safeguard journalists' safety, protect press freedom, and create an environment conducive to a diverse and pluralistic media landscape. Media organizations should also uphold professional ethics and resist undue influence and coercion. Media literacy in education. Promoting media literacy in education is crucial for empowering citizens to navigate the complex media landscape by fostering crucial thinking skills, promoting media literacy initiatives, and providing educational resources. Individuals can discern credible information, challenge biases, and actively participate in democratic processes. Media literacy should be integrated into educational curricula to equip citizens with the skills necessary to engage responsibly with media content. Media and democracy. Democratic participation. Media enhances democratic participation by providing a platform for diverse voices, facilitating public discourse, and enabling citizens to make information decisions. Accessible and inclusive media systems can foster civic engagement, mobilize public opinion, and strengthen democratic governance. Opinion formation. Media plays a pivotal role in shaping public opinion, influencing electoral outcomes, and informing policymaking. An informed and pluralistic media landscape is essential for ensuring public opinion that reflects diverse perspectives and interests. Media outlets should strive to provide balanced, factual, and comprehensive coverage to promote a well-informed citizenry. Media pluralism and diversity. Media pluralism and diversity are vital for vibrant and democratic society. A diverse range of media outlets, ownership, models, and content contributes to a rich marketplace of ideas, fostering healthy democratic debate and counterbalancing the risk of media capture. Efforts should be made to promote media diversity, reduce ownership concentration, and ensure equitable access to media platforms for organized and unrepresented communities. So now I will just see two case studies, media and governance in authoritarian regimes. Examining the relationship between media and governance in authoritarian regimes provides insight into the suppression of media freedoms, manipulating of information, and the impact of governance processes and public discourse. Examples from our countries with restrictive media environments can highlight the importance of media freedom for democratic governance. Media and governance in democratic settings. Analyzing the media governance relationship in democratic settings explores the challenge faced, such as media bias, misinformation, and the need for regulatory frameworks that balance freedom of expression with responsible journalism. Case studies of democratic countries can shed light on successful approaches to fostering a healthy media governance relationship. What are the strategies for enhancing the relationship between governance and media? Media ethics and professional standards. Promoting and upholding media ethics and professional standards are crucial for maintaining the integrity and credibility of media. Encouraging self-regulation, codes of conduct, and accountability mechanisms can help address challenges associated with media influence. Media organizations should adopt transparent editorial policies and enforce guidelines to promote responsible journalism. The other strategy, transparent and accountable governance. Transparent and accountable governance practices are essential for maintaining public trust and addressing concerns related to media influence. Openness, transparency, and ethical conduct within governance institutions foster an environment conducive to a free and independent media. Government should actively engage with media organizations, civil society, and the public to ensure accountability and responsiveness. Collective initiatives. Collaboration between media organizations, civil society, academia, and governments can foster an environment of cooperation, dialogue, and shared responsibility. Joint initiatives focused on media literacy, fact-checking, and supporting independent journalism can contribute to a healthier media governance relationship. Platform for constructive dialogues, such as public consultation and multi-stakeholder forums, can facilitate ongoing engagement and collaboration. Recapitulation of key points. Here with my own limitation in this workshop lecture, I've tried to provide a detailed and critical examination of the relationship between governance and media. Also, I have tried to highlight the crucial role of media in democratic governance and influence of media on governance processes, and the challenges posed by media influence. My intervention has emphasized the need for transparent, accountable governance and a diverse, independent, and responsible media landscape. I'd like to offer some recommendations to further deepen our understanding of governance media relationship. Future research should delve into specific case studies, empirical data analysis, comparative studies across different governance models and landscapes, media landscapes, exploring initiative solutions, such as impact of emerging technologies on media systems and the evolving role of social media platforms. This contributes to a more comprehensive understanding of this complex relationship. For the entire presentation, I have consulted a few books. I feel like sharing with the participants here for your benefit. John Street, Media, Politics, and Democracy. This is a book which was published by Red Globe Press, 2029. In this book, Media, Politics, and Democracy examines fraught debate over media influence, which wields it and what effect social and transnational media has on what we think, how we behave, and how we vote. Charting the media conglomerates of old, the alarming rise of the tech giants in recent decades, concerns over fake news, and the use of social media by political candidates. This book places contemporary anxieties into historical context and compares a response to such issues across different states and societies. I would also like to share another book, Hespondalga, David et al. There are several authors, so they have collectively edited this book called The Media and Social Theory. In this book, media studies needs more. They emphasize that media studies need more critical intellectual resources. This book brings together both major and emerging media analysis to consider media change and so deepen these resources. Case studies range from reality television to professional journalism, from blogging to control of copyright, from social networking to indigenous media in Europe, North America, Asia, and elsewhere. Among the theoretical approaches and issues addressed here, critical realism, post-structuralist perspective, audio and field theory, Marxism and post-Marxism, Habermas, and third-generation critical theory, actor network theory, theories of democracy, and antagonism and difference. So I think I'm coming to the end of my intervention. As I said earlier, I think we should interact, and Deepan has already announced that there will be an award for the best participant. I wish all of you the best, so that you can avail this opportunity. And it is also very encouraging for me and others that this kind of workshop is very important across Northeast India, and we should really share. I'm happy to see a lot of participants here. And yesterday I asked Deepan that, how many participants are, he said, more than 35 participants. And it's not a matter of joke that, we are sharing information, whatever, crisis we have, I think will come up. And I wish that my intervention has benefited you. And now I would like to welcome you for questions.
Sir, good morning. I have a question, if you don't mind.
Surely.
Sir, you highlighted a very interesting aspect in your discourse on, the indigenous media. If I am, whatever my limited readings I have, I understand that the concept of indigenous media is basically related to the fourth world people.
Yes.
Can you give us some examples? I mean, if this kind of, the indigenous media is being used or is being put into use somewhere in the Northeast?
See, if you look at the television media now, and the rise of social media, in fact, it has started from social media. I mean, indigenous people, they were, as all of us know, in Northeast India, we have been defined, indigenous peoples of Northeast India were defined as what? Isolated groups of people. But then, when social media, which is very powerful, of course, in some respect, but which is also bad in some other respect. I mean, spreading, distorted information and so on. But then, given this, facility, given this opportunity, social media, they have come to know that, it is not that to raise their voices, from other media, machines. I think it is better to organize themselves. So what they thought, in Tripura itself, I've seen, indigenous people, they have their own channels, television channels, and then, they are using, with very positive, thinking, they are using social media also. For example, Facebook is there. Okay. Now we see that, I mean, indigenous people have come, a big step forward with the media, machines. And I mean, as you know, even in the mainstream, societies, they think what? The more followers you have, the stronger you are. And that is why you see, I said the media ownership. For example, look at Twitter. Twitter has been, I mean, sold out. And Elon Musk has bought it with 35 billions. And, he's at loss, so much at loss now. He was actually challenging whom? He was challenging Donald Trump. Donald Trump claims that he has more followers than any other person in the US. So, now Elon Musk thinks that, if I buy Twitter, I'll be having double the, followers than, Donald Trump. And that's what I think, it should also happen to indigenous, communities. And this is very interesting question that you have asked. I think, those who are not in touch with the indigenous world, they won't know about this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I have another question, if I'm allowed.
Surely.
The idea of, sir, laws and rules related to, I mean, regulations in the Indian context are basically self-regulatory. I mean,
Yes.
when it comes to media. But of late, the ongoing narrative has changed things to a great extent. Whosoever writes whatever on Facebook, on Twitter, or any platform, social platform, there are drastic measures that are taken to curtail the very voice of the common people. So, sir, what's your take on this?
Sure. I mean, this is also a nice thing you have asked. See, I mean, if you think of the Indian context, I mean, Indian situation, we have seen over the last few years, we have seen how media organizations, are sold out. Okay. And then, I mean, they are not having any standards nowadays. I mean, even I have seen the strongest of the strongest, like NDTV, for example. NDTV, it was always, critical about the government. And then finally, I have seen that, Borkhadat, who has been, always critical about, BJP governance. And so, I've seen she was talking positive. And this is where, I think journalists should maintain their, ethical standards, ethical, behavior. And I think it's true that, in India today, most of the media, organizations, they are biased. I've seen many, if you look at, the situation in media world, I mean, it's really, I mean, I become frustrated sometimes, we don't have a genuine media, organization, so that we can really reflect. Because, media, what media has to do? Media has to really, give a good governance through their, dissemination of information. I mean, that's how they should be doing that. The bad things of the government, misdoings of the government, misdoings of the executive, executive administrators, misdoings of the even their own organizations, their own people who are really not doing well for the societies.
Thank you, sir.
You will get the award.
No, nothing as such. I mean, I was too keen to ask.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you.
I wish we could meet really, offline and then face to face. It would have been very interesting also.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
sure, sir.
I'm not very comfortable with this, online and all that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you.
Surely.
Okay, sir, there is one more question in the chat box. She is asking that provide an idea on media political parties nexus.
Can you please repeat?
Sir, the question is that please provide an idea on media political parties nexus.
Media political parties?
Nexus.
Yeah. Absolutely. There are, some, living examples. I mean, if I really, mention, maybe I'll become a bad guy. But, political institutions, particularly, ideologically, strongly, ideological basis, as we see across the world nowadays, that ideology is working extremely, beyond, I should say, beyond the limit of the ideology. Therefore, to keep it up, I think, they realized that, media organizations, media machines are very important. And then, political parties started even buying. If not buying, they create their own, media organizations. And that is what is most concerning in the discourse of media and governance. And, if the political parties do not responsibly behave, do not really do, good things for the people, and it is the media who would be really, defending the people and offending, the political parties. But in recent times, we have seen that, the nexus between these two, as I said, asymmetries, political parties on the one side, media on the other. I don't see that, give the example of India. I don't have to explain all this, how political parties are really, controlling machine, decision makers of media houses, come from the politicians. And that's what, is very concerning for all of us, that living in a democratic, society, we should expect that, there should not be, these two domains, should be, although they have their own, autonomy, political parties, they have their own autonomy, media, organizations, they have their own autonomy. And these two autonomies should not be transgressed. It should not be really, going beyond. And we have seen that this is actually violated, not only in case of India, in case of other countries also, even in the US, most Democrats and the conservatives, they are also buying media houses. And that is the thing that I would like to emphasize, that very concerning. And my entire intervention here is to, explore this and to make you know.
Thank you, sir. Is there any questions? Anyone who wants to ask?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I have a question. That freedom of expression has always been emphasized as a special right in our
Yeah.
society. Media plays a very vital role in the society, discussing about the issues related to the responsibilities of the good governance. So how far is it okay? I will quote and unquote. How far is it okay to give absolute freedom to the government? Sorry, media. So your take.
No, see, definitely, as I've been talking about this, that, media organizations, sometimes they want to maintain their own freedom. I mean, when they do it, I mean, suppose, for example, print media, some newspapers, you'll be having a lot of anti-government, information there with big headlines. They would be, I mean, talking against the government, talking against the doings of the government, their policies and their, activities. Therefore, we see that these, I mean, those who really, voice against, express their opinions, express their, ideas, they are, I mean, attacked. I mean, they are not safe. That is why I was talking about the safety of the journalists, and safety of media houses, which is very important, and it should be provided by none other than, the government. So therefore, we see that, our freedom of expression, quality, print media or, other media, mediums. So therefore, there should be some kind of, control from the government side. Some policies should be very strong. I mean, this policy should not be violated. And this is what is happening everywhere. We see violations of all this, government policies to safeguard the journalists. I call it, journalism. It's a landscape. I mean, sort of a landscape. That landscape should be, protected. And on the other side, this is also true that media houses, they are so vulnerable, into corruption. I've seen with my own eyes, my own state, elsewhere in the whole country also, that, they're vulnerable. So it is from both sides. That is the paradox we have. We need to really address this very well.
So that means there should be some restrictions on the media coverage.
Absolutely, because governance doesn't mean that media houses can really behave the way they want.
Yeah.
Suppose you just disseminate misinformation and disinformation. So a government or anybody, if some media house is doing misinformation, I mean spreading misinformation about somebody, about some political party, about some executives, there should be some kind of rule. Okay, these rules should be maintained by media houses also. I have seen many mushrooming newspapers in my own state. As we were talking about indigenous media. Okay, indigenous people are also coming out, and we see some kind of biasness. Okay, some kind of biasness is accompanied in all media systems.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Sir, there is one more question in our chat box. Can we take it?
Sure.
Yeah, sir, it is that how, what is your opinion about?
Can you tell me who are you?
Sir, I am Pratibha Singh. I'm the moderator of the session.
Pratibha, yeah. Or you are just, okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sorry for interruption. I'd like to request the participant to introduce yourself while asking a question.
Exactly. That's what I want.
Okay. So ask your question. Who has written it in the chat box?
Sure.
Any further question? Participants? Sir, should I proceed with the vote of thanks?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Myself, Dr. Purnima Shah. Can I
Yes.
ask one question, sir?
Why not? You are most welcome. I'm here for this only.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
My question is, what can be the most effective media for good governance according to you? What
According
can
to
be, I
me,
repeat, what can be the most, yes, most effective media for good governance according to you?
yeah, effective medium means, to express the truth. As I said, to reveal the truth. And then, when you speak the truth and this comes out as a news or this comes out as information, not as disinformation, I think that is the real strength behind. We cannot just, truth cannot be misled. And, most, my teacher in Northeastern Hill University, they used to tell us, I'll not name him, he used to tell us, whenever you read a newspaper, whenever you see any TV programs, just believe only 1% of what they're saying. That should not be, actually the thing. But, this is happening. That is why, the strength behind to express the truth. And also, when you speak the truth, it really becomes for governance also very important, because this will again contribute to good governance. And if media houses are not allowed on the other side to, express the truth, it is absolutely, it will break down the social and political systems.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So,
Sir.
sir, should I proceed with the vote of thanks?
Hello,
Hello.
sir. I am Samir Pegu.
Yes, I can
Sir.
see your name.
Sir, do you think government control media in our country? Sir.
This is really, I have to repeat this because, as I said, there are two types of, governance and governments I have explained. One is authoritarian. Suppose if you go to a socialist country, for example, if you go to China, you will see that there is only one national newspaper. There is only one national, news channel. And here, it is totalitarian because they totally control the media. I mean, there should not be any information, disseminated, which will be not actually censored by the government. So uncensored information cannot go out. This is one thing that, where you have authoritarian government system that control the media. But on the other side, we see also democratic governance, democratic, countries, they give freedom, full freedom. In fact, what I was talking about, the fourth estate means the pillar, the fourth pillar of democracy. So media houses, if they are the fourth pillar of democracy, I mean, they know that how to control it and why to control, and they have to control. That is what I'm saying, that, I won't say, in India, how many media houses are really controlled, and most of the media houses are controlled. I mean, more or less all the media houses. So you don't have to be worried also, because, we live in a democracy. As I said, you have the right. I mean, you have the fundamental right to speak the truth. And, that is what most of the, tribal indigenous people's media, groups are also, why they have their own media system. They said that to speak the truth. And that's the thing. Are you satisfied, Shomir?
Thank
with
you,
the
sir.
answer?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So quiet.
Okay, any question? Okay, sir, I don't think there is any question. So
Okay.
thank you very much for such an insightful session. And now, on behalf of the workshop committee and the whole, both the universities, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks. And my heartiest thanks to Professor Gautam Chakma for enlightening us with his views and providing such an insightful information. And he very clearly emphasized on the relationship between media and governance, that how this both the aspects are very multifaceted in nature, and a free, independent, and responsible media is essential for a well-functioning democracy. So it also acts as a watchdog, holding those in power accountable and providing citizens with reliable and unbiased information. But in turn, governance also has a significant impact on media landscape. The legal and regulatory frameworks established by governments can either foster or impede media freedom. So both media and governance are interconnected and mutually influential in nature. So a vibrant and independent media is vital for good governance, while effective governance is also necessary for maintaining a free and responsible media environment. So
Sure.
very deeply and greatly you have you gave a concept to all the participants. So thank you
Yeah.
very much for this session.
Thank you, Pratibha. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all the participants for making the session interactive in nature. Thanks a lot.